All right, welcome back to Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Vinny.
I'm Dylan.
And today is one of those very special days. 4 times a year we get a little insight into some of kind of really well-known and famous investors and what they're buying or selling and that sort of stuff. And today, 13F filing Michael Burry, Science Asset Management. We got to see what he did, and it's an interesting one, I think.
All right. If you like this kind of entertaining stock market content, we're just two stupid guys trying to figure everything out. Give us a like and subscribe.
With that, we'll get to it.
Two stupid guys trade stocks.
All right, my man. So, pretty impressive there. What do you think of all this red?
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm coming into this blind. Vinny had this prepared because I was at work, and he sold everything.
Almost everything. So this is his sales for the quarter. He basically closed out of almost everything he actually had, including options. This is the arkk, the anti-cathie wood play. He closed that. Actually, I don't. He has a Tesla play. Closed that. He had some calls on the kind of big tech in terms of Google and Facebook. Closed both of those. He also had that treasury bet that we've been following for a little while. Completely out of that at this point.
I have 6 of those.
Yeah, well, he no longer does.
I'm actually at break even on them, so
yeah, pretty interesting. So the it doesn't exactly reflect true monetary value, but if you look at the total option of all the shares controlled in terms of his options contract from the previous term quarter to this quarter, you're talking about between $2 billion total last quarter to 40 million this quarter.
Wow. So he did a mass exodus and so this is him calling a crash. That's what this is.
Yep. Yeah. That thing like the data says you're never supposed to do, never supposed to time the market, that sort of stuff. It kind of looks like he's doing that at this point. Certainly, a lot of stuff we talked about has come to fruition. You've seen that the inflation has been hardly transitory. It's still, going at a 6+% clip at this point. And
definitely not transitory.
Yeah. Now you have Jay Powell finally admitting like, well, we're going to have to start tapering back, but he's still tapering back at a very modest pace, if you will. So inflation should probably continue to run rampant for a little while.
Yeah, he's actually, didn't he say that there's going to be a gap between the taper and the increase in rates?
Yes.
So he's going about this in the slowest possible snail pace there is.
Yeah, that indeed is the case. So I think Burry's calling it here. He's saying like, you know what, this is it. Like we've gotten so extended from any sort of normalcy that it's time to delever.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But he did actually buy some stuff too. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Are they like gold or prison or something stuff?
So he actually was even decreasing his shares in prison companies. This is the companies he still owns shares in. So there's 3 new positions or added 2 positions basically here. So Lockheed Martin, that's a brand new one for him, just opened this quarter. Lockheed Martin actually had a pretty dramatic sell-off after earnings. So it seems like he saw an opportunity there. I mean, if you look at it from a standpoint of price to free cash flow, I think they're trading at less than around 19 times or so price to free cash flow, which is pretty good for
pretty good.
A large company. But he reduced his holdings in both of the prison companies, Geo and Core Civic, pretty significantly, 53 and 68% from prior quarter. A little bit more investment in DNOW, which is a company that supplies equipment to oil and gas companies.
Right.
Yeah. Continued inflation trade, right? Because, we've still seen $80 a barrel. So oil has been pretty steady now for a little while.
I didn't really. CVS is 40% of his portfolio now.
Yeah. Yes. Well, like these numbers.
Right. Obviously, yeah, because he sold off like 85% of his portfolio. So now the chunk is the same, but it's just a bigger percentage.
Exactly. Yeah. He likely has, I'm guessing, a quite significant cash hoard at this point. The other thing, too, is that because of SEC rules, he doesn't have to disclose short positions. So if he is full on just shorting something, it will not be listed in this.
I know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have to
So,
disclose.
but you do have to disclose it if it's a put contract.
Yep. Yep.
Right? Just not an open short.
Yep. The open shorts
Okay.
didn't have to be disclosed. I'd imagine he has probably put on some short bets at this point, but that's just my best guess of what he's doing. But one thing I thought was kind of interesting is this little company, SCYX. I'd never heard of them before. I probably should have mentioned it when I texted Dylan around like 1 o'clock this afternoon when I first saw that the data was public. So watch what happened to SCYX today.
Oh, geez. Bro, why didn't you hit me up?
Yeah, well, this is like I'd already missed this little spike here by the time I saw it. You know, we were still hovering down in like this low $6 or so range, and it had another 75 cents.
Oh, geez. I would, honestly, if there's a high short interest on this, this could keep going here.
Could squeeze. So
you have a multi.
Yeah, I know he's looking it up now. It's a biotech company. Their major product is a antifungal agent that is both oral and by IV. I want to say for vaginal candidiasis. So I didn't realize that was such a lucrative market, but apparently Burry thinks it's worth it.
Really? Because like it's like really easily
Easy to treat?
fixable. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
I don't know why you need a novel agent for that, but apparently there are
it's
folks
very cheap to fix.
Yeah. I know. For anyone that's new out there, Dylan and I both work in medicine, so that's why we kind of gone off on a little tangent about this. But $135 million market cap, so it's a pretty small company. But that's
their short float's 15%.
Well, that is interesting. This definitely could squeeze, I guess. Put this one on your radar. SCYX. You know, you're already
nice
25% in a day. So
I'll look at it tomorrow.
Yeah. Another one, this is Lockheed Martin. This is a 1-year chart of them. So they had this massive sell-off here recently, which is kind of interesting. So this disclosure here would have gone up to about Halloween here, right about the end of October. End of September, so beginning of October. So it's a question of whether or not he still held it through this little run up and then massive sell back off here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should explain that. Anyone who doesn't understand the 13F filings, this isn't showing like what he bought yesterday. It's over the previous entire 3-month gap. We don't know when anything was bought.
Exactly. And it's
3-month window.
45 days delayed from the end of the quarter. Then, classic Burry form, he files on the very last day that, he can, because he doesn't want anyone to know what his positions are any more than they have to by law. So that's what you're looking at there. So this is actual site here. I get a lot of this data from Whale Wisdom. Now, Whale Wisdom has, if you actually go into this, it'll show you all that sell-off action that he had there. Pretty profound. You can sort it in a few different ways, which is awesome, very useful. But yeah, I don't know. Anything particularly pressing or interesting? What do you think? What's your reaction to this?
Well, we already knew that he closed the Tesla position because he had mentioned it. So I guess that makes whoever leaked that, or was it not leaked it? Because I guess it was like an email.
Yeah, he told CNBC that via email.
Okay, well, he wasn't lying. So
maybe he's gonna back on now. Tesla's finally showing some weakness now that Elon Musk is selling out.
I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't add to the arkk put position. Yeah, because in a sell-off, though, all of her stocks are going to get murdered.
I would strongly suspect so too. I think he may have realized it was just too early. Now that's kind of my thought process now is like, yes, I think it's pretty apparent and everyone knows that, like, this kind of divergence from the mean is unsustainable in a long-term trend. But I think most people are now waiting and saying like, all right, I need to wait for clear definitive evidence that the easy money time period from the Fed is over and that we're going to see this, sharp and violent reversion to the mean, probably overcorrection too, before they start bringing on, bearish positions.
I think it's going to be a while. As a guy who's been shorting the Qs for 5 months and now don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. Not a fan.
I mean, you're a technical analysis guy, so I'd probably wait until you see like a clear break of the trend and that there's, room to run to the next support kind of thing before I would put that play back on. This is
I broke my cardinal rule. I did do it and it did correct. And then I didn't take a partial or set it to break even. So it's like, if I just listen to my own rules, I'd be really good at this.
It's the hard part of investing. That's what we're all about here. For anyone that's new out there, is investing is as much an emotional and kind of educational journey as it is like facts and figures kind of oriented, sort of endeavor.
Exactly. See a video on how Dylan lost everything.
Yeah, yeah, we'll link it above. All right, guys. Well, let us know what you think about this. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yep. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah.